I can.
Thank you very much. It makes me feel much more secure. Why did it not? Oh, I guess we're recording. All right. Let's do the before lecture chant. An unsurpassed, penetrating, and perfect Dharma is rarely met with, even in 100,000 million kalpas. Having it to see and listen to remember and accept, I vow to taste the truth of the Tathagata's words. So, the theme of our practice period has been is freedom. May all beings be free. And what is freedom? We've been focusing on koans. I thought we'd have so much more time. I haven't even begun to touch the koans that I thought I'd get to do. And Erica was sending me more koans that she thought would be fun to do. So it's kind of wonderful that we're just that, at least for us, I hope you're feeling a little bit of it, is just enthusiasm and wonder for these amazing Zen stories that are passed along. So I'm going to do two tonight. At least I think I am. No, I'm going to do four. No, we can do six. I'm sure we can. No, we'll see what happens. May all beings be free. That's that's the ground of it. Uh, Chapter that I read from Suzuki Roshi, Not Always So. The chapter is called "Supported from Within." He says, "Trust people and trust Buddha. Trust people and trust Buddha." It's the way of awakening, the way of bodhicitta, the way of the bodhisattva, an awakening heart. Trust people. I'll bet yourself has lots of yes buts going about that one. And trust Buddha. So I'm going to read you a story. Suzuki Roshi was in Japan during the war. He came here after the war. He says most priests, he was a priest, he was a temple priest, family temple. Most priests work to earn some money to support themselves and their families. My belief was that if I observed the Buddhist way faithfully, people would support me. So I never asked anyone to give me anything. I just observed the Buddhist way. I just observed the Buddhist way. I raised some vegetables and sweet potatoes in my temple garden. That is why I know how to raise vegetables pretty well. I had a spacious garden in front of the temple, so I dug up the ground, took out all the stones, and put in manure. Some villagers came and helped me, and we grew vegetables, and we had a good crop. Remembering that this was during the war when people didn't have much to eat. There was much deprivation. One day, my neighbor came to help me cook. When she opened the rice box, there was no rice at all. I had a pretty big rice box. She was astounded, so she brought me some rice. It was only a little, as she didn't have much rice, but then my neighbors and members of my temple collected rice. I had quite a few members, so I had quite a lot of rice. And when people found out that I had a lot of rice, they came to the temple, so I gave my rice to them. The more I gave my rice to them, the more rice I was given. At that time, most people who lived in the city went to the farming families and exchanged whatever possessions they could for food: potatoes, rice, sweet potatoes, or pumpkins. But I had no such difficulty. Most of the time, I had plenty of food, but I didn't feel so good eating something different from other people, so I tried to eat the same food they did. Here at Tassajara, the food is wonderful, strong, and rich in comparison to the food we had in wartime. So I have not had any complaints about the food. If we protect our way wholeheartedly, live wholeheartedly, we will surely be protected by Buddha. We will trust people and we will trust Buddha. So we might say that one of the most important things about our practice isn't big philosophy, big ideas. It's ordinary and very down to earth. Being present, taking care of what's in front of us. We open to the material world by entering it fully, and it reveals itself to us. And it requires loving, meeting, taking care of our lives, taking care of the vegetables and the earth and the ground and the neighbors, which is you and me and everything. Our practice, Zazen, Shikantaza, is just sit. Just sit upright, present, open-hearted, meeting and being met, whatever comes. Maybe there's rice, maybe there's no rice. But there is some kind of faith. Just take care of what's in front of you. Suzuki Roshi says, if we do not practice our way with everyone, with all sentient beings, with everything in the world, that is not Buddha's way. Open yourself to the entire world. He says, the spirit of Zazen should always be with us. It is not dualistic or selfish spirit. It is calm and firm with deep conviction. Calm and firm with deep conviction. When we practice in this way, we are always one with the whole Buddha world. Just enter. Entrust yourself to the moment. Senses open. Otherwise, you'll miss the whole world. Katagiri Roshi says, all beings that exist in this world manifest themselves as the practice of giving just by being whoever they are. A horse manifests being a horse by being a horse. Susan manifests and gives the gift of her Susanness to the whole world. I suppose even what we think is a bad or a bad person, in the moment as they give themselves to the world as best they can, it gives us the opportunity to practice. When we do Zazen, we have to completely give away our body-mind. This doesn't mean to destroy your body-mind. This means that we give our body-mind completely to Zazen and to life without holding back and without measuring our progress. Just sit down. And when the bell rings, Zazen gives us back. This is also the way to practice with activity, to give our body-mind completely to whatever we are doing. Just release ourselves moment after moment. It is a faith practice. And I suppose in some ways you don't come to this practice until you've suffered a lot. Because usually if you think you can still get away with hoarding your rice or whatever we think we do in our small way, I still try it. There's ways that I withhold, but then I look around and I think, ouch. Little by little, we wake up. Here's a great story I like about the Buddha. Buddha said a true spiritual life isn't possible without a generous heart. Once, the Buddha and Ananda were walking along by the beach, and they came upon some boys and girls playing in the sand. One of the little boys was so impressed with the Buddha, well, maybe we'll say one of the little girls, was so impressed by the Buddha that she felt she wanted to give him something, but she had nothing to give him. So she gave him a grain of sand from the beach. The Buddha held out his begging bowl, and the little girl put a grain of sand into it. The Buddha said that this single grain of sand was one of the best gifts he had ever received. Not because of the sand, but because of the condition of the little girl's heart when she gave the sand. The condition of the little girl's heart when she gave the sand. So now here's the koan I've been working up to, one of them. It's from the Book of Serenity, case 39. You've probably heard this one. The monk asked Zhaozhou, I have just entered the monastery. Please give me some guidance. Please help me. How do I live? What is this Buddhist quality of heart? What are we doing here? Probably expecting some big, fancy, helpful answer, right? Zhaozhou said, have you had breakfast yet? Which is already kind. Have you had breakfast yet? I never got this part of the koan before. It's like, are you hungry? There's an offering and a generosity in that. And when the monk said, yes, I have eaten, you know what Zhaozhou said next? Then go wash your bowls. Just simply, then just take care of the next thing. Be generous, take care of the bowls. Here's the commentary on it. When food comes, simply open your mouth. When sleep comes, you close your eyes. As you wash your face, you find your nose. Again, there's a tenderness to this. It's like, just take care of what's here. Don't think it has to be some big thing. When you take off your shoes, feel your feet. Ah, how are you today, feet? You could ask your shoes too, how are they doing? And if at such times you miss the point, take a light and search hard in the depths of the night. How will you meet this? How will you meet this moment? How will you take care of yourself and the world that is actually all you? Here's Wick's commentary. Do not let the word Zen delude you. Don't think you're this is me. Don't think you're doing something special or it's some big thing. Simple grains of sand in a Buddha bowl with an open heart. Taking care of your feet and your shoes and washing the dishes. Immediately realize that Zen is nothing other than what you do and what you are, morning, noon, and night. As long as you think it is something else somewhere else, then you are trapped in a tomb with no way out. Dead. Cut off from life. Come back. Wake up. Wake up. Come back. Aiken Roshi says, because it's so very clear, it takes a long time to realize leaves are green, hibiscus flowers are red, and robes are black. Just trust yourself, trust this life, and trust yourself to Buddha. Trust and eat what's put in your Buddha bowl. You know, the story is sometimes that the way the Buddha died was because the vow is that with your Buddha bowl, whatever is put into it is that you eat it, is that he was given, I don't know if the implication is intentionally or not intentionally, was given something that was poisonous and he ate it, and that's why he died. I mean, he died because he died. but just receive. It's a practice of trusting people and trusting Buddha. You don't know what life is going to give you the next moment, right? So here's a story about that. It's from The Hidden Lamp, koan number 2. Maybe you've heard this one before from me, because I really love this one, because I love Dipa Ma. She was Indian. She came to teach in the United States at Insight Meditation Society, I think on the East Coast, so 20th century. She really was, when you read stories of her, she really was a bit of an Indian saint. I think India tends to turn out they turn out Indian saints. Maybe we turn out American saints, but India has more than its fair share of them, it does seem to me. So here's the story. A student of Dipa Ma had his radio stolen from his car, something that had happened to him several times before. When he told Dipa Ma, you can imagine, there was a fair amount of complaining about this. She burst out laughing. "What's so funny?" the student said. Dipa Ma answered, "You must have been a thief in a former lifetime. How many more times do you think you will need to have your radio stolen? What did you do? What was your reaction when the car was broken into?" The student replied, "Well, I was really angry because it happened so many times." And she looked at him in amazement. "You mean you didn't even think about the man who took your radio? How sad his life must be." And then she closed her eyes and started chanting quietly to herself, offering metta, loving kindness blessings for the thief. Just receive. Trust people, trust life, trust the Buddha. Here's the reflection from The Hidden Lamp. It's how we see and don't see that creates our reality. It's true that we all swing between our small, self-centered point of view and the bigger, broader, dharmic view of reality. The danger is in not realizing the difference and taking the little mind and its point of view as reality. It's not the act or the actor, but how we see them that makes our lives heaven or hell, that makes this world heaven or hell. I'm not saying don't put car alarms on your car, don't take care of things in all the ways that we need to take care of them, but study the mind and the heart. What's the quality of the heart? Suzuki Roshi says, same chapter, what is going on in the world of Buddha is just Buddha activity. We are firmly protected from the inside. That is our spirit. We are protected from inside, always, incessantly, so we do not expect any help from outside. I mean, it's lovely. Please help other people, and please hope other people help you, and please hope that the world cooperates with you and gives you everything you want. I really hope that's so. And just pay attention to the quality of your heart and wash your dishes. When someone causes pain, loving kindness that the pain that was caused to them, and on and on. And what's our choice? And how do we want to live? Life is giving itself to life. It's empty and boundless and fluid and free. Can we just keep appreciating the abundance of this amazing life we've been given? Putting grains of sand in someone's Buddha bowl, just small offerings of kindness. If you have rice, find some way to share it with someone else, or at least appreciate each grain of it. It's like, oh, thank you, Buddha. When you wash your dishes, be amazed you have a dish to wash and that there's water coming out of the tap. Hot water, even. And then think about, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, interbe. It's like, wash your bowl that is made of the earth and someone turned it, or these days some machine turned it warm and round. So many possibilities for gratitude and for generosity. A lively engagement with conditions just as they are. Have you had breakfast? Are you hungry? Yes, thank you. Oh, well then please. Just the way here is then just please wash your bowl. Just take care of what needs to be taken care of. So I thought I might try to, Amanda Gorman, there was, if you remember her from the inauguration, the New Yorker just published, I guess she has a new book out of poetry. I was going to, but I wasn't proficient enough, going to try to have you listen to her saying her own poetry, but I'm going to try to read it. It's called Lucent. What would we seem, stripped down like a withered tree? Glossy scabs, tight raised skin, these can look silver in certain moonlights. In other words, our scars are the brightest parts of us. The crescent moon, the night's lucent lesion, we are felled oaks beneath it, branches full of empty. Look closer. What we share is more than what we've shed. What we share is more than what we've shed. And what we share is the bark, the bones. Paleontologists from one fossil femur can dream up a species, make believe a body where there was none. Our remnants are revelation. Our requiem as raptus, when we bend into dirt or truth preserved without skin. Lumen means both the cavity of an organ, literally an opening, and a unit of luminous flux. Literally a measurement of how lit the source is, illuminates us. That is, we too are this bodied unit of flare, this gap for lux to breach. Sorry. It must have been the light playing tricks on us, we say, knuckling our eyelids. But perhaps it is we who make falsities of luminescence, our shadows playing tricks on stars. Every time their gazes tug down, they think us monsters, then men, predators, then persons again, beasts, then humans, horrors and then humans. Of all the stars, the most beautiful is nothing more than a monster, just as starved and stranded as we are. Which is all to say, just wash your bowls. Take care of yourself and this life and each thing. Embody loving kindness. Reflect on the scars of self and others. Be the cavity, the opening, the unit of luminous flux. And stop thinking that freedom is somewhere else. Stop thinking that freedom is somewhere else or something different than this moment. Let's give ourselves endlessly, entrusting ourselves to this life, which is Buddha's life, and completely to whatever we are doing. So I think I'll just give you the jump off line of, and just wash your bowl. Just wash your bowl. And I'll put you in groups of, I'm not going to put you, but I'll move you into groups of 3. And could each of you just reflect